But now we're gonna transition into Morgan, and Morgan herself has some cool passion, and Lynette's gonna break that down for us.
Yeah, I had the privilege of, first of all, being friends with Morgan for quite a while, but also living with her for, what was it, like a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. And she is quite the baker. She makes
Oof.
some delicious baked goods. See, Addison knows right away. He's like, oh, I feel it right now in my stomach. So Morgan, what was it that that got you into baking? Is there some like early childhood memory of like your aunt maybe baked and you helped her or something like that? What was it?
Yeah, actually, so me and my mom liked to bake a lot when I was a kid. But my grandma was the baker of the family.
Okay.
And it wasn't like I went over to grandma's house and I got cookies. I mean, I did get cookies, but baked cookies, like it wasn't like I guess like a typical like cartoon grandma.
Okay.
I mean, she was making like full on pies and cakes and biscuits from scratch ever
Wow.
Snaps.
I could remember. I mean,
Yeah.
I went over every Tuesday for breakfast in the mornings because my parents had to go to work super early on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would go over to her house and she was making biscuits at like 5 in the morning, like from scratch, biscuit, gravy, bacon, eggs. But
Wow.
I would go over during high school for lunch, and me and my friends would like show up, and she would make us lunch. But she would have a chocolate cake with coffee frosting on it. And she's like, "Here you go," and she gave us like half the cake, and we were like, like walk back to the. Anybody wants a cake? Like, they're like, "Where'd you get that? Grandma's house."
Get it?
Wow.
She's like, I made it. Wow, that's awesome.
That's I think my first memory of was like with her. She used to have this 5 gallon. I'm sure you can still find them like 5 gallon bucket of flour.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
And so she would make like her pie crust or whatever. She was really known for her peanut brittle. She made peanut brittle from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, until she was like, I want to say she stopped making it when she was like 85. So,
Okay.
But she'd be baking, and I would get flour and put it in a big bowl and play with the flour. Like,
Okay. Was that like your version? That was like her letting you help kind of thing.
exactly. So here, sift the flour, the old sifter where you
Yeah.
sift the flour. And there you go. And she like measure it out and stuff. So
Aw, that's cool. That's a good memory. So now when you bake, do you think of those times or like what do you feel when you're baking? Like is it something that gives you energy or is it more something that's like therapeutic? Like, I feel like really peaceful right now. What is it that makes you feel?
it's a mix of both, I think. So I get energized, I put on some music, or I'll put on a movie or like a good show. I'm like, yeah, bacon, like get into it.
Uh,
But I do think of like the good times I've had with my grandma or my mom, like
yeah.
bake, and that was just something we did in our house. We just, oh, we're gonna make brownies today. Okay, cool. Like,
Wow.
Yeah.
or we're
That's
chocolate
awesome.
cake.
Yeah.
Okay? So it is like therapeutic at the end though. Like, I did this. Like, this is cool. Like, this is good. But I do like get into the groove of it, and I get excited. I'll dance around my kitchen.
That's good. I have fun with it. So with since your mom and your grandmother baked so much, I imagine they had like their own recipes and they would try new things. What do you prefer? Like, do you prefer to follow recipes that you see online or have you been like handed down recipes? Do you like to try things just like off the top of your head? What do you like?
That's a good question. I was thinking about that. I do like recipes because baking is more. It's funny because it's an art, but it's more of a science.
Oh, that's true.
So you can't just add like a random amount of flour and an egg and
Right, right.
probably like make something
Yeah.
because all of those things interact with each other, and if you have something wrong, then it won't come out good. So when it comes to certain recipes, I will like stick to the recipe itself.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandma's chocolate cake, I got that passed down to me. I stick to it. I don't change it. I just do that because I know it works. But like if I'm making something like lemon bars or of like a cupcake, you can like play with things a little bit. You can play with flavors, and not necessarily like the flour ratio.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Mm.
But I do like to like if I get a recipe down, I'll try to like change it to what I want later down the road as I figure it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. I want to talk about also, I wrote it in like a big bullet point, is your lavender cupcakes, because these are like my favorite. Morgan makes everything very well. Like
This is
everything's
legendary,
delicious.
guys.
But the lavender cupcakes are just amazing. He confused me. The lavender cupcakes like are just to die for. And I remember like when we were rooming together, and I remember you said something about lavender cupcakes, or that you could make lavender cupcakes. I was like, that sounds kind of weird. Like, I don't know, lavender, like you're supposed to put that on your body. You know, you're not supposed to eat it. But then she made it, and I was like, this is my life now. Like, they're just delicious. So, like, where did you get that from? Is that just something like you found on the internet? Or
yeah, that's actually a Pinterest recipe.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I love it.
Recipe, and the trick is there's real lavender in it.
Yeah, I watch her like cutting up like little lavender buds.
Yeah, so it's dried lavender. That's like the tricky ingredient to find a little bit, but yeah, I think I tried to make that for your going away party too when you guys moved to Arizona. Yeah. I think I tried to make it into a cake, and it like, I don't know if it worked out. I don't really remember. I remember it not working out very well. I remember. Yeah.
It must not have worked out. Can't remember.
Like it wasn't there, so either you guys ate it or.
But the first time you did have the lavender cupcakes.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good story, because she made like a whole batch of just lavender cupcakes at our house, and I had like 5 in one sitting, and like it just, you know, lavender is very soothing. It's very relaxing, and it had that effect on me. And she found me in my room, just like laying on the floor, like staring at the ceiling. And I felt that way. I just felt like out of it, but also like so at peace with the world, you know?
Wow.
She's like, are you okay?
It was walking in going, are you okay? And you're like, I'm just super relaxed.
So if anyone out there is wondering, lavender does work. It does make you feel very relaxed.
Yeah, so please yeah, so eat it with the little asterisks, right? Eat it with the proper portions.
No, eat all of it. All of it.
Oh,
it's okay.
Gosh.
If you just want to knock out for the night, just eat all of, like, eat like 5.
Yeah.
So I'll be waiting for those when you come to visit us, because I need them in my life again. It's been like 3 years since I've had any.
Wow.
I've actually tried to figure out how to ship them to you, but I haven't figured out a way yet.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the same. You'd have to put like dry ice, and they might like explode or something.
We don't want that. We don't want that. We want
Things explode when you ship them
we
with dry
cannot
ice,
say explosion on this show. We can't get banned by the FBI. Okay, guys.
Is that a targeted word? I don't know.
I don't know. Our FBI people are watching this right now, so I don't know. Yeah. So we don't get banned.
Like and subscribe if you're gonna watch.
Yeah. So like all that talk of eating all these cupcakes brings me to my next question for Morgan. How do you have so much self-control with like baked goods? Because anytime you would make anything, or even if we bought something from the store, like you would have like one cupcake while I was eating like 3, and you're like, I'm gonna save that one for tomorrow, and I'm like, why? Please eat it now or I'm gonna eat it. Like, like how do you do that?
I have no idea. I think it changed over the course of time.
Yeah.
I think it's funny, I used to bake a lot when I was like really into like working out, eating healthy. So then it was like my little cheat, and I was excited for it.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of bake, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll have 3 cookies. Like, I'll have a few lemon bars. It's fine. It's not that big. But then, I mean, I do share it with somebody, so.
Yeah.
How has that affected you, Addison? Like her baking skills and her passion for that.
Do you bake more now that you're married? Does he like ask you for things more?
So I try, and this is something I kind of told her too. I was like, I'm not gonna pressure you to bake for me. you want to bake. Like, because, I mean, you guys probably experienced this, like, anything like that, passion-wise, creative-wise, whether it's leather, photos, or something you're going to eat, making food, it's what you're feeling is expressed in that somehow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Are they going to come out good, or it's going to come out like you were frustrated? You know?
Oh gosh.
You just wanted to get it done. Like, you know, whenever she wants to bake, it's like, if you want to bake, just budget it and get the stuff you need and do your baking thing. Like, I'm not going to say, like, I want cookies, I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Saying that. I want my cookies. You know?
A cookie monster.
But,
Although I remember the conversation we had when we were first married, and I was like, because I like to bake for other people. It's hard.
I remember that. Yeah.
Kind of going back to that question of like self-control. I don't like to have a lot of sweets in the house, so it's hard for me to have them here and like stare at them and be like, okay, I've had plenty today, but I want another one.
Right.
So I'll give them away. But I was doing it so often when we were like first married that I was baking a lot and just giving them to other people. And he's like, can you just like, if you're gonna make like a big cheesecake, can you just like do an extra half of a portion, like and give me a slice?
Oh, you wouldn't save any for him?
well, I would show up
Like,
to work,
save like one piece.
and the house would be like filled with this glorious smell of like something she's baking. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, right? And like the next day, I'm like, oh, that was for so and so. I'm like, okay, no big deal. The next round.
Oh,
Oh,
you'll get the next round.
Tear.
Like, it was like three or four times in a row, and I'm like, okay, you can't keep doing this to me. If you're gonna fill the house with this smell, I need to have a little bit of what you're making this house smell like.
Right.
That's true.
I was like, if you do it, just make a little, like, I don't need like a big, just do a little, you know?
Like, I just want a bite.
You have some scraps left over, just make it out of that, you know?
Some of the flour falls into the floor, pick it up, make some more.
It's all eating it off the ground.
Yeah. But I think because of COVID, because of vid,
Don't say it.
The vid.
I haven't.
Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to like bake as much because then it stays in the house.
Right.
Not
Yeah. That makes sense.
Then we would be eating baked goods a lot more often. So
But
I
could you
kinda-
make them in? Could you make them in like smaller batches? Yeah.
somebody suggested that to me. They were like, you should just figure out how to bake things like the souffles, which are you only make like 3 or 4 of them,
Yeah.
like a whole batch, and then that way you just have like a smaller amount.
Right.
That's smart. I should try that. Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Love it.
One thing I wanted to ask, because I kind of have like a funny story with this question, is there was one time I was at Petco with my mom, and like, I don't know if it's PetSmart or Petco, either one, they have like this little area of dog treats, but it looks like cookies. Like they look good.
Scooby snacks.
So I was like, I want to eat one of those. And my mom was like, go for it. So I was like, okay, I will. So it looked like an Oreo. Okay. How is it for a dog? I bought one and I ate it, and it was actually really good. And I would eat it again. I was just wondering.
I'm shooketh right now. I did not know my wife ate dog cookie. She's straight up Scooby Doo right now.
I did
Shaggy.
eat a dog
She's
cookie,
my Shaggy.
and I don't regret it.
I loved and I would eat it again.
Good.
Full story.
I occasionally think about them and wish I could have one.
She ponders about them sometimes. That's how much
I
how good they
do.
were.
So, like, my question is, have you ever tried to make any kind of like baked treats for Tui, your dog, or anything like that?
I have a recipe
Really?
to actually make like cookies for him, but because he's so old and no longer has a lot of teeth,
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
like if the cookies are hard, he has trouble like biting into stuff.
Right.
So I haven't made him anything, but I have given it thought before.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Have you ever thought of that as a business idea?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people with old dogs.
People will pay for their dogs.
So what if you make like a smoothie cookie or something, like a oatmeal, like a you know?
It's like powder form, and you just add water.
And then boom, you know.
Did we just create a new business?
Okay, new business, guys. Follow our cookie old dog business.
Old dog.
You can even do like heart treats too, like natural
Yeah.
heart treats and stuff.
Yeah.
That's smart. I never thought
Not a bad idea.
Anyway, so copyright. It's copyrighted. Anyone who's listening to this, you can't steal this idea.
and royalty now paid.
You can't make your own dog treats. It's
illegal.
We said it.
We said
Means
copyright.
It's already copyrighted.
We call dibs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Morgan, is baking something that you could ever see yourself just like doing for work, like full time, or is it more just like I want to do it when I feel like it, kind of hobby?
I think it's more of like I want to do it when I feel like it.
Yeah.
My grandma kind of created a business out of her peanut brittle. She would sell peanut brittle, but only at a certain time of the year.
Right.
And she did great on it, and it was delicious and great. So I could see myself doing something like that, or a little bit more like a certain time of the year, like that's when like so
Seasonal.
great for like pumpkin and
Right.
who makes pumpkin rolls all fall, like that kind of thing. So I could see myself doing something like that, but not like a big business out of it.
Right.
But do it for fun.
Yeah.
So
And is it because you enjoy it and you're fearful if you do it too much you won't enjoy it anymore, or is it because you have like a certain respect towards it, or is it just because you just don't want to make any business out of it, like you want to just honor it for what it is?
Probably the latter. I'm the person where like I'll get stressed out very easily over people are like, yeah, let's like I want this and I want this much. Like that'll stress me out, and then I'll if I don't feel like it's good enough, like I'll crash the whole thing and then like try to redo it. But you can't necessarily do that in a business. Like when you're first making something, sure, like you can kind of like scratch it, but then as you go on, if I don't think it's good enough, I won't sell it. And it's not.
That's how I feel too. Yeah.
That is a big trait though of a lot of successful companies.
Yeah. Oh wait, what is?
Like having that type of commitment to quality to the product.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like it right now. I mean, I never say never. I mean, it could change.
Right.
Yeah, I was just curious if it was, because one of those things that I've heard also, that people have passions about certain things, whatever it is, and they're fearful if they combine like money into it, or like a business into it, it'll taint it somehow, or you won't enjoy it anymore. But they don't know because they haven't done it yet, but they're fearful of that idea, right? If I do this, I don't want to hate this. I love this. This is my, how Lynette was saying, my therapeutic, or this gives me energy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So I was just curious about that.
That's a good question.
My last question for you, Morgan, is if you were a baked good, what would you be and why?
And this is coming from a baker, okay, guys? So this is pretty deep. Pretty deep.
Okay. Oh, it's deep. But
I'm just joking.
Okay, so I will say that like people, like my close friends, they've said that I'm sweet and that I'm loyal. So those are kind of the two qualities that came out, and I do try to like be loyal to my friends, and I do try to be kind.
Yeah.
But so I think like a chocolate chip cookie or like an oatmeal raisin. Oatmeal raisin can be hard to find, but a chocolate chip cookie you pretty much just get about anywhere, and it's hard to mess up.
True.
Like,
That's true.
If you get a chocolate chip cookie, it's gonna be good.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like the idea of a chocolate chip cookie is like loyal in that way.
Dang.
I like
That's
that.
a great
It's
answer.
very classic, like
I love it.
baked
That's a
good.
great answer.
That does fit you very well.
Dang.
You are very sweet and loyal. I can
love
attest
it.
to that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you, Morgan, for like what happened?
So we were talking about like which ones we were.
Oh yeah. What are you, Addison?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
You're a churro.
I said you're a lemon bar because you're sweet, but you like to be tart sometimes.
this is true.
Oh gosh,
That's
awesome.
true.
I love
No,
it. I love it. What?
That's
Anyone,
just-
if anyone listening, this can be a fun game to play with your friends. There you go. What type of baked good are you? I think I'll be a churro. I'll be a churro
Why?
because I'm sweet and toasted. I guess I don't know.
Addison's like, are you though?
Are you though? I'm just joking.
What does toasted even mean, bro?
I don't know.
He thinks
Bert.
he's darker than
I'm
me.
darker than Lynette, so anyway. But thank you, Morgan, for that. That was awesome. If there's any time where you create a business, let us know. We'll put that out there as well, so you guys can follow her. But just one last time reminder to anyone: follow AJ's Oddities on Instagram and support anyone who's on this show. We have 2 last segments. We're almost done with the show. Tier. This last segment, again, we didn't communicate this. I don't even know if we have something for this segment, but this segment is Express Yourself. And essentially, it's a piece of, your guys' work that you're proud of, or a cool story that you want to share. This is part of the segment of the show where we can go through that. Do you have that for something? If not, that's okay. We can go on to the next segment.
Well, I do have. I'll just use my wallet. Let me take all the cards out because there's like important stuff in there.
Yeah, take that stuff out.
You could just show us the card and forget the wallet.
Oh my
Both
God.
sides, please.
Don't do that. Don't listen to that.
Don't forget the
Please
was it
include
the CCV number?
CCV number.
CCV,
Yeah.
So this actually is the newer design that I have called the Connery.
Okay.
Nice.
As far as like design, it's a little worn because I've had it for a little while, but this was purely made of scrap leather.
Oh wow.
Scrap that I had around. This was my trial of this new design called the Connery, and this one has and what I like to do with if I'm going to try a new design, one, I'll use scrap leather to try the design to see if it's even functional.
Okay.
So that line of like functional and it looks good, because if you go one way, if you go too functional, if you go it's totally functional, it might not like have that eye appeal.
Yep.
But it works, right? You go where it's like, oh, that looks beautiful, but how in the world are you going to use those pockets?
Yeah.
Right.
Right? You got to find like that balance. So I use scrap leather to kind of like determine whether it works or not. And I was trying out these new swooped style pockets where it's just
wow. Okay.
and the card, I'll use my insurance card, there's nothing important on there. The card just kind of slips in there, some hidden pockets.
Perfectly.
Trying to hit stuff like that. And then the back side, I'm trying to flash no cash or nothing, but I used a shorter billfold backing. Usually, traditionally, they're either the same or higher than the wallet.
Okay.
I did it a little bit shorter, and it's got like a little
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I like it.
stuff like that. So just different styles. And this one I tried. It was a trial and error. There was a lot of different techniques used to try to figure out what is going to be the best for this wallet. Do I want it to have a hidden wallet, have a hidden pocket? Do I want it to be flat against the backing, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like a Frankenstein of wallets. But I was trying every different variation in it to see if it worked or if it was functional. So this is kind of like how the beginning of like, if I were to design something new, this is kind of the form that it takes.
Okay.
And then I use it myself, and then I see, is this going to be functional? Am I having issues with it? Are the cards falling out? Are they not? Do they not look right? Or
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like a
I
rough
wrote it-
draft.
yeah, I wrote it. Comment, so they say. But yeah, was that Is that the segment?
No,
Is
no,
that
yeah,
what?
yeah. It was expressing yourself, expressing a cool story about something you've made and why you value it. So that's pretty cool that you built that a scrap leather. So that's something that I didn't even know that was possible. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, so anyone out there who wants a wallet, any leather good, send him a DM. He's making actually something for my little brother. So he makes high quality stuff to support him. One last portion is pay it forward. Is there anyone out there, a friend of yours, just anyone that you follow, support in this next section called pay it forward that you would love to, that you think would be good for our show here and interview podcast?
Sure. There's actually a few friends of mine and of ours. There's one brother that lives in Long Beach. I actually kind of met him serendipitously, if that's a word, through the leather community. Really, I was looking through other people's feeds of different leather crafters, and this one guy had a bag that he was doing. I'm like, oh, I like this guy's work. So I'm looking through his Instagram, and I saw a picture of him and his wife at convention.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, this guy's a brother. So I on Instagram and just like said hi and like, I'm new to the leathercraft community and all that and stuff. And we talk once in a while and all that. We'll comment on each other's posts and stuff, fun stuff. So his Instagram is Better Leather Goods.
Better Leather Goods. Okay.
And again, I believe he's in Long Beach.
Okay.
So there's one guy, leather. Another one is, I think Lynette Asia.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
She has her Instagram with clay earrings. She does different types of clay.
Yeah,
Out of
so beautiful.
Springs. She does really a lot of cool designs, a lot of good work.
Yeah, very intricate designs.
Morgan's got a few of her earrings, and
Oh,
I
yeah?
like them.
Nice.
I like them a lot. Another sister that does earrings is our friend Chloe Perez.
Okay.
She does crochet. She has crochet earrings. Those are actually earrings that Morgan is wearing right now. But they're...
Oh, wow. Look at that.
They're beautiful.
That's intricate.
Isn't that cool?
She does
I love it.
stuff. So yearly theme stuff, summer, fall. Right now she's doing a line that has a really good story. It's based off her grandpa, who had passed away recently.
Oh,
But he...
wow.
Oh, yeah, maybe I should let her tell the story.
Yeah.
It's on her story.
We have a cliffhanger.
It's crochet earrings. Crochet _ earrings. And crochet is spelled CHLO.
I think it's C-O. I got
We'll put it on the description. We'll find it.
Yeah, we'll
I
figure
think-
out. We'll type it out for you guys.
Perfect.
I love it. Okay, sweet.
Yeah, too. She does a lot of good stuff.
Sweet. Well, thank you for paying it forward. So hopefully we'll talk to them, and hopefully they'll be willing to join our show so we can keep learning, and our listeners and viewers can keep learning as well. Once again, thank you, Addison. Thank you, Morgan, for joining us. We had so much fun. Hopefully, anyone who's listening to this until this point, man, respects to you. You sat down with us. Hopefully, you had some drinks or some coffee, something you enjoyed this, or you're driving to work when you're listening to this. But thank you for joining, and thank you for supporting. And we'll catch you up on the next. What would we say at the end? The next flippity flip.
Catch you on the flippity flip. I don't remember.
Yeah, catch you in the flippity flip. And yeah, we'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.